Namaskar. Welcome to this session on how to live a balanced life in the series of Bhagavad Gita in daily life. So, balance is not something that we can find or we can have as a gift, but it is something that we need to understand and we need to create a balance in our life. It is a part of our free will, it is not part of our destiny. And that's why the onus of responsibility is on us to create this kind of a balance. For most of us, this balance in work life is disturbed, and that creates lots of problems, not just physical problems, diseases, but even emotional problems, disturbances in our relationships with our spouses, our children, our parents, our friends. And this is where most of us, we have to try and balance our life, how we can do that. And for this, none other than Shri Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita how we can balance our life. So there are about 4 aspects which I have taken in this presentation. One is how we can use the yoga, pranayam and other things which can help to balance our life. 2, how we can achieve a balance in our diet and our routine, because diet is something it is very important for maintaining our good health. How we can give back to the society, what kind of donations, what are the kind of donations or dana, different types of what Shri Krishna describes. And meditation. Meditation is another very powerful way of creating a balance in our life. And Shri Krishna describes quite details about how we can do meditation, what are the methods, and how we can actually achieve much better balance in our life. We can spend some time in meditation in our life every day. So starting with the pranayama in the 4th adhyaya, Bhagavan is talking about the yagnas. And here he describes pranayama as one of the yagna. He says, just like we take a deep breath like prana, apane, sacrifice into apana, and recha, exhalation, deep exhalation, sacrifice the apana into the prana, and then kumbhaka. There is a way we can hold the breath, prana, pana, gati, ruddhva. We can control, we can take a deep breath and hold it there as much as possible. That is called kumbhaka. And one who gives this kind of priority to pranayama in life, because pranayama, our breath and our mind has a direct connection. The moment we control our breath, our mind also quietens down. And that's why pranayama is very, very powerful. Even if we have stress and if we do deep breathing for some time, 5 minutes, we take a break in our life and we focus on our deep breath, that will help us to relax ourselves. So this kind of pranayama is very, very important. There are different types of pranayama. We can learn from somebody who knows it well and can do persistently, continuously do it, and that will definitely help us. Bhagavan also tells us that whatever you eat, whatever you digest, aham vaishwanaro bhutva prani nam dehe mashitra. He says, I am the fire, I am the Jatra Agni, I am the fire of digestion, we digest everything, and I reside in the body of the thing, of all the beings, along with prana and apana. He says, I digest all the 4 types of food, different types of food. So everything is divinity in our, tradition. And that is what we need to understand. Again, Bhagavan describes the prana yagna, the balance of yagna, our life, what all we do in all our karma, all our, we should have a balance of diet. Apare niyata ahara, our ahara should be balanced, he says, and all our diet, sadhana, everything. Pranan praneshu jugati, we should sacrifice the prana into the prana. Prana is our kriya shakti, our work, and that's why that kind of a balance in our kriya, our work, our activity has to be there. And all the seekers, he says, know that the yagnas, also know that by practice of these yagnas, all the sins can get destroyed. Now, starting the description of the 3 types of ahara in the 17th adhyaya, which is the Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, describes the 3 types of food that people like. He says, first, in the 8th shloka, he starts with what are the sattvic food. This, he says, aharaha sattvika priya. Such food is dear to sattvika people. He says, these are the people who are sattvika, and such type of food is dear to them. Ayuhu, which increases their lifespan. Not normally, only nutritious food can increase our lifespan. Things like vegetables, plants, fruits, all these nutritious food will increase our lifespan. Sattva bala arogya pradata, something that nurtures our intellect, our body, makes it our body healthy. Obviously means that high protein diet will be a good thing because it will keep us healthy rather than eating too much of fat or complex carbohydrates. Sukha Priti Vivardhanaha, something that gives us inner happiness and peace of mind. We know that eating fruits and things like that gives us more peace and happiness rather than eating very fried food or oily or chili food, which does not make us very happy, always wants us craving for more and more food. So, and Rasya and Snigdha, means should be tasty. It should not be that it is not tasty. It should be non-sticky, it should be lubricated well, but it should not be very full of oil, ghee, butter, and all this is something that is not a sattvic ahara. Sthira and Dudya, it is something that gives satisfaction, satiety to us, which we can have an inner joy for a long period of time. We don't keep on feeling like eating more and more. That is the kind of food with the sattvic ahara. And then in the next shloka, Bhagavan describes what is the rajasic ahara. He says, ahara, such rajasic persons like this kind of food. He says, ati katu, amla, lavana, ushna, very bitter, sour, salty, and very hot. And something tikshna, rukshna, vidahina, means very hot with a lot of chilies, very dry, ruksha means absolutely dry, and very spicy, vidahina, which causes burning in us sometimes, acidity, which creates acidity. This kind of food is rajasic ahara, something that gives us dukkha, shoka, amaya. Amaya means disease, which produces diseases, which gives us pain, misery, which disturbs our intestinal tract. Next day we have indigestion or diarrhea, or something that in the long run creates more problems for us like hypertension, diabetes, cardiac problems. This kind of food, which is high in salt, high in sugar, high in complex carbohydrates, is something like a rajasic diet, Bhagavan says. And then he describes what is tamasic ahara. He says, such food is dear to tamasic people, which is yata yaman, means which is improperly cooked, which is half cooked, which is not properly cooked, which is gatarasam, which has no taste, which is tasteless food. Puti, which is small, very awful, which is stale, and which is not fresh. Uchishtamapi, which is uchishta means which is tasted by others, which is jutha, which is not pure. And amedhyam. Amedhyam means which cannot be offered to the Lord. There are certain foods which cannot be offered to the Lord as prasadam, and those kind of food are all tamasic ahara. And Bhagavan is trying to tell us that rajasic and tamasic food affects our body and mind, does not help us in our spiritual journey, and that's why we should try to move from tamasic to rajasic ahara and from rajasic ahara more towards sattvic ahara. That is what Bhagavan is trying to tell us if we want to pursue on this path and try to understand this knowledge. And then again in the 17th adhyaya, in the 3 shlokas, Bhagavan describes what is the sattvic dana, rajasic dana, and tamasic dana. He says this is sattvic charity. What is sattvic charity? Datavyam iti yad dana, means which is done as it is my duty to do. I should give back to the society. Society has given me so much, with that understanding that it's time that I need to give back to the society. If I do something for the people at large, for the society at large, I give back something, that is a sattvic dana. Diyate anupakarine, means done without, that giving or donation is done without any expectation of return, that it will help me in some way in the future, or it will give me some tax benefits, or all these benefits for us. If we don't keep it in mind, that is a sattvic dana. Or some kind of my name will be there, I'll be remembered for years together. This kind of expectations of return is something which is not a sattvic dana. Deshe kalecha patrecha, which is done at an appropriate time, place, and to the appropriate person, to the right person who is the needy, that organization or a person who is needy, and if we give donation to those kind of people, that is called a sattvic dana in the eyes of Shri Krishna. And what is rajasic dana? It says yatu pratyupkaram artham, which is done with some kind of an expectation of return, that in the tomorrow they will help me out, or something, some other expectation of return of some kind. Phalamuddishya puna, which is keeping in mind the fruits, the results of again and again, that I'll get some benefit out of it. Diyatecha pariklishtam, which is done with a lot of hesitation, whether I should do it or I should not do it, I should give some donation, and with some anguish that somebody is telling me that's why I have to do it. I'm not doing it out of love, affection for that person or an organization. That kind of a donation is a rajasic donation. And our Guru Ma tells us that we should at least start from rajasic donation, and then only we can reach to more of sattvic donation. And this is what is a tamasic donation. The next shloka, the 22nd shloka, Bhagavan says, Adesha kalaya danam apatre diyate, which is given with inappropriate place, person, and undeserving person if we give any donation. Asatkrutam, which is done without any respect to elders or saints. Avagnatam, which is done by ignoring other people, and that kind of donation is the tamasic dana. And then in the 5th adhyaya and the 6th adhyaya, Bhagavan Shri Krishna talks about the meditation part, which is very important because he starts from the end of the 5th adhyaya, where Atma Sanyama, meditation, is only the way how we can really imbibe this knowledge and understanding and put it in assimilate in our life, so that it becomes a part of our life and our behavior, our personality. And this, in the last part of the 5th adhyaya, Bhagavan says how we can do meditation. He says, Bahya Sparshan Bahikrutva. All our objects, outer objects, should be kept outside. In meditation, we don't have to think about them. We have to go deep within us. That is what we need to do. Chakshus Chaivantare Bhuvoho. Focus in the center of our eyebrows. That is the place where the Agnya Chakra is there. Prana Panau Samakrutva. Keep our breathing, our prana, apana, all our deep inspiration, expiration in our balance. Only then Nasabhyantara Charino. By keeping this breath in our balance, we can do meditation. Only then our mind becomes quiet and we can sit in meditation, because there is a close relationship between the breath and the mind. If the breath is controlled, the mind also gets controlled. If the breath is quietened down, the mind also becomes quietened down. In the 6th adhyaya, starting from the 10th shloka, in the next 7 shlokas, Bhagavan talks about different aspects of meditation. Very beautiful description about meditation. He says, Yogi Yunjita Satatam. This yogi always, Satatam means always, he is, continuously, indefinitely persist in this yoga sadhana, this meditation. Rahasi Stitaha. Atmanam Rahasi Stitaha. And where does he contemplate? He contemplates in his own Atma Swarupa, in his own real self. That is where he contemplates. Ekaki Yata Chittatma. Ekaki means he sits in isolation. He does not sit on between a lot of people, because that is not the best way to do meditation. We have to sit in isolation. And Yata Chittatma, all our mind and everything, our Antakaran, Chitta, everything should be under control. Nirashihi. Nirashi means we should not have much expectations from a lot of people or the world. Then we cannot sit in meditation, because we will think that, oh, this person had to give me this, he didn't give me this, nobody praised me, nobody respected me, nobody appreciated me. All these expectations will not be fulfilled or satisfied. Aparigraha. We should become a non-possessor. Parigraha means that vritti, that attitude of grabbing, of giving, of having this, that, and the other. This will not help us in pursuing meditation, because then we will think about all those things, what I need to have, what I need to possess, what I need to buy. All these things will keep on thinking. In the next shloka, Bhagavan talks about the outer preparations for meditation. He says, Shuchau deshe pratishtapya. In a clean place, we should position ourselves sthiram asana matmana. In a steady, we should remain steady in one place. Natyuchritam nati nicha. Not too high, the asana should be not too low. Chailajina kushottaram. Cotton, skin, deer grass, and then grass. And that is how our asana, we should sit on an asana. And then how we can focus our mind onto the goal for our inner purification. He says, Tatraikagram manah kratva. We need to focus, sitting on this seat, we have to focus our mind and on the goal. Yata chittendriya kriya, bringing a halt to all our indriya, chitta, kriya, everything, all our thoughts, our minds, all our words, everything has to stop. Upavishyasane yunjat. We have to practice yogam atma vishuddhahe. We have to continuously practice this at meditation for Atma Vishuddhi, for purification of our inner self. That is the main purpose of meditation. And it describes the body posture during meditation. Shri Krishna says, Samam Kaya Shiro Privam. He says we should keep our back, head and neck in one straight line. Dharayanna Chalastiraha. Our body posture should be very steady. It should not keep moving during meditation. Samprachyanasikagram swam, by seeing the center of our own eyebrows, and not dishaschanavalokayan, and not seeing any other directions. We should not open our eyes and keep looking here and there while we are doing meditation. This is how we need to do meditation. And then how we go deep into meditation. Bhagavan describes the condition of our mind in meditation. Prashantatma vigatabihi. that we should have a quiet mind which is free of all the thoughts, all the fears. Brahmachari vrate stitaha, established in a sense control, physical control, should not think about any physical pleasures. By restraining our mind, manah sanyamya macchitta, and focusing on the Lord. Macchitta means putting all our mind into the final goal. Yukta asita matparaha, an integrated personality, Yukta Parasan, sits in meditation. This is how we should sit in meditation. And then finally, Bhagavan describes the benefit of this kind of meditation. What will happen if we keep on doing this meditation? What will be the benefit? And as human beings, we'll always want to know what is the benefit of whatever I'm doing. It says, Yunjannevam sadatmanam. In this way, if a yogi keeps practicing his meditation, yogi niyatamanasa, with his mind with focus on his atmanam, constantly practices meditation, what does he get? Shantim nirvana paramam. He achieves eternal peace. Shanti. What kind of Shanti? Param Shanti, which does not come and go. It is there always, Nitya Shanti. And Nirvana. Nirvana means I know my real Swarupa, become free from all these limitations, and Matsanstham Nadigachati, achieves my own self, my own Swarupa. And this is the real benefit of meditation. And Bhagavan then says that balanced lifestyle is very important for meditation. Those who are doing meditation will know how the previous day's thoughts, actions, food, everything, sleep, everything affects the next day's meditation. Natyash natashtuna yogosmi. One who eats too much and one who eats too little is not able to meditate. Even person nachati swapna shilasya, one who sleeps too much, or jagrato, or one who is awake for a long period of time, naiva charjuna. None of these people are able to meditate. We need balance in our diet, in our sleep, everything in our actions, everything. Yuktahara viharasya, he says, only a balanced person can benefit from dhyana, can go deep into meditation, whose food, ahara, vihara means activities, yukta cheshta, cheshta means our actions, and our karma. Everything must be yukta, must be appropriate, must be controlled. Yukta swapnava bodhasya, our sleep also should be appropriate. About 5 to 8 hours sleep, yogo bhavati dukkha. And then only we can do that kind of meditation which will take care of all our dukkha, all our miseries, all our pain, everything will be gone if we continue to doing this meditation. We'll understand our real self. And what is the state of our mind in advanced meditation? Bhagavan says, Yada viniyatam chittam atmanyeva vatishthape. One whose mind is completely under self-control and nispruha sarvakamityo, detached from all the worldly objects by vairagya, yukta ityuchyate sada, atmanyeva vatishtati, and remains steady in the atma. For that person is the accomplished person, is a yukta yogi, is a self-restrained yogi. That person is a real having a atma sanyama yoga according to Shri Krishna, the one who can detach from the world and remain steady in his own atma. This requires a lot of practice, abhyasa, by withdrawing from the anatma and being steady in our atma swarupa. And only a very accomplished yogi can perform this. But all this takes a lot of abhyasa. This takes a lot of practice. And finally, in the climax of meditation, what happens? Yatha dipo nivatasto. Mind is like a lighted lamp. Just as a lighted lamp, when it is placed in an airless place, na ingate, does not waver at all, remains very steady. Similarly, a yogi, yatachittasya, whose mind has been controlled by this kind of meditation, who keeps on meditating, yogam atmanaha, on his own real self, does not waver. He remains very, very steady, like a lamp which is there with a place without air. That lamp remains steady. Similarly, the mind of this person also remains very steady. But then our experience is that whenever we try to sit in meditation, the mind keeps wandering here and there. Lots of our thoughts will keep wandering here and there. What to do when the mind wanders from one place to the other? Shri Krishna says, Yato nischarati. He says, Manas chanchalam asthiram. Mind is very, very chanchala, very agile, very unsteady. And asthira, it is very, very, like a monkey. It keeps going from one branch to the other. It is bahirmukha, it goes out. And that is the nature of the mind. Bhagavan accepts that mind is like this. And that's why yato nischarati. Whenever, for any reason it goes out when you're doing meditation, nischarati means it goes out to wander. Tatas tato niyamyai tata. there and then, always from there, we have to restrain the mind, pull back the mind, Atmanyeva Vasham Nayat, and put it back and steady it, our Atma, in our true self. We have to understand, and this is how we can continue doing meditation. And what is the benefit of this kind of meditation? Prashanta Manasam Yenam, Yoginam Sukham Uttamam. He says that no yogi who does meditation like this knows one Brahma and achieves the eternal bliss, has the highest peace, Uttama Sukha, Upaiti Shantarajastham, where his mind and senses are all quiet, devoid of any Brahma Bhutama Kalbasham, and it destroys all the purities and achieves the highest form of Swarupa Ananda, because this is our own Swarupa. Happiness or Sukha is not outside anywhere. Our Shastras tell us that our own self is Atma Swarupa, is Ananda Swarupa, and that is where we have to get this eternal bliss. So essentially, balance brings a lot of harmony in our life, and we should try to achieve a balance in our life by doing all of our actions, our work, and our life, by pranayama, by our balance in our diet, by balance in our giving back to the society, and balance in our meditation. It will create a very huge difference in our life. Regular exercise, diet, sleep, meditation will create a whole different paradigm for us in our life. It will completely change and transform our life. And that is what Shri Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita. With this, we come to the end of this session, and I pay my gratitude towards the Lord, with whose grace everything is possible. I pay my respects to the Guru Shishya Parampara and to my Guruji, Puja Guruma, with whose grace I am able to learn the scriptures and share my understanding with you. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parah Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.